Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister inform the House what specific technical or administrative failure led the collapse of Lanka government cloud on the 14th of October 2025 and whether any preliminary investigations or forensic audit has identified accountability with ICTA or its service providers? 2. Will the Honourable Minister confirm whether the incident was purely an internal system failure as stated by the Sri Lankan Computer Literacy Readiness Team, or whether there is any evidence of external cyber intrusion or data compromise? 3. How many similar systems breakdowns, service disruptions or cyber incidents have occurred in the key government digital platforms over the past 12 months? In the recent months, Sri Lanka digital backbone, the very infrastructure that sustains governance, commerce and citizen services, has come under severe strain. The sudden collapse of the Lanka government cloud on the 14th of October 2025, which crippled 8 major institutions, including the Register of Companies, Department of Commerce and police clearance systems, has exposed the alarming fragility of the nation's digital framework. This was not an isolated incident, but the culmination of a systematic neglect, technical decay and institutional complacency. While the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team has described the disruption as an internal technical issue, the absence of transparency and accountability has only deepened the public anxiety and suspicion. Over the past 6 to 10 months, Sri Lanka has faced an unprecedented wave of cyber intrusions targeting banks, state agencies, financial intermediaries, etc., including people of repute like the BOI chairman Archuna was intercepted. These repeated attacks have shaken public confidence in countries' ability to protect sensitive personal and financial data. Yet, instead of fortifying defences, there has been an alarming silence from the authorities. No comprehensive cyber audit, no national digital risk assessment, and no unified command structure for crisis response. The latest incident has revealed not just a technological failure, but a failure of governance and foresight. The Information and Communication Technology Agency and the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team, the two co-institutions entrusted with safeguarding and maintaining the nation's digital ecosystem, now appears to be operating without synchronization or shared security protocol. Citizens deprived of essential digital services such as birth, marriage, death certificates, or even revenue licenses have been forced to revert to manual process. A humiliating regression for a country that once aspired to be a digital hub of South Asia. The contradiction between ICTA's silence and the assertion has further eroded public trust, suggesting institutional disarray at the highest levels of digital administration. At stake is more than a temporary inconvenience, Honourable Speaker. It is sovereignty of the nation's data. The cloud infrastructure that hosts sensitive records of millions of citizens and thousands of state institutions is now under question. A breach or a compromise of this scale could have devastating implications for national security, financial integrity, and the international confidence in Sri Lanka's digital ecosystem. In an era where cyber warfare and digital espionage have become a new battlegrounds of statecraft, this episode must serve as a national wake-up call. Sri Lanka cannot afford to treat this as a transition technical glitch. It must recognize that in digital governance, infrastructure is now a strategic national asset, requiring the same vigilance, investment, and oversight as physical borders or defense installations. Parliament, therefore, has an urgent duty to demand full accountability, ensure comprehensive forensic audit of Lanka government e-cloud, and establish a national cybersecurity command authority with powers to secure, monitor, defend all critical digital assets of the state. Honourable Speaker, accordingly, I wish to ask the Honourable Minister of Technology the following questions. I can understand the situation, because this is something new that is happening, but I thought it was necessary, as he is a very technologically competent person, that this type of insight should be looked at in order to extract the correct situation, because we are going into a 100% digitalization journey. Question number 1, Honourable Speaker. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House what specific technical or administrative failure led the collapse of Lanka Government Cloud on the 14th of October 2025, and whether any preliminary investigations or forensic audit has identified accountability with ICTA or its service providers? 2. Will the Honourable Minister confirm whether the incident was purely an internal system failure, as stated by the Sri Lankan Computer Literacy Readiness Team, or whether there is any evidence of external cyber intrusion or data compromise? 3. How many similar system breakdowns, service disruptions, or cyber incidents have occurred in the key government digital platforms over the past 12 months, and what lessons or corrective measures have been instituted thereafter? Honourable Speaker, the reason I'm asking this is, even in Committee of Public Finance, when we asked the central bank, are you ready for cryptocurrency, digital currency, then nobody less than the central bank governor came and said, no, that is not a problem for us. We have not looked at. This is not neither law nor against the law. So these type of things, when we ask in advance and we get a question, answer that is absolutely stupid, has become relevant today. So that's the same reason I'm asking you, Honourable Speaker, through you to the Minister, that these are futuristic problems that are being accounted today. So let's ensure that we get a proper answer in order to ensure that these type of things don't happen as a disaster into the future. 4. What was the total financial and economic loss to the nation as a result of digital infrastructure collapse, including disruption to e-revenue licenses, police clearances, certificates, and other government revenue streams? 5. What is the government's fallback or disaster recovery mechanism in event of such system-wide digital failure? Does Sri Lanka maintain secure real-time backup facility, either onshore or offshore, to safeguard citizens and institutional data? 6. Can the Honourable Minister assure Parliament that all sensitive citizen and government data hosted on Lanka Government Cloud remains intact, uncompromised, and will government table a cybersecurity audit report before this House? Honourable Speaker, you know that a person of repute like the BOI Chairman Archuna, he had his personal information on the social media, and this was a breach through the cybercrime. This happened in bank. I can name the bank because it has gone to Security Exchange and mentioned Cargill's bank that there was an invasion into their privacy. So these are not matters that can be swept under the carpet. 6. Can the Honourable Minister assure Parliament that all sensitive citizen data hosted on Lanka Cloud remain intact and uncompromised? 7. What steps are being taken to restore public and international confidence in the security of Sri Lankan e-government system, particularly given the increasing frequency of cyber attacks on banks, public institutions, digital payment networks, and the last 6 to 10 months? Now the question arises, Honourable Speaker, sometimes going to digitalization, we might be paying taxes far more than what is required, because it has become holier than thou that when a thing comes in digitalized, that everything 100% correct. Now it is to the question whether it is the actual situation or not is being questioned. Now where does that go in? How do you have the audit trail on this? These are matters that I'm asking not only as a normal citizen, but as a professional accountant who knows the danger of having fully digitalized without having backup trails. 8. Will the government consider the establishment of a legally empowered National Cybersecurity Command Authority to coordinate, monitor, defend all national digital assets under a unified structure? 9. As Sri Lanka accelerates its transition towards full digital governance, which I fully appreciate, and the quicker we do that, it will be far more beneficial to the country, so there should be no retardation of that. But we must take necessary precautions to ensure that while doing so, that it doesn't harm the people of this country or compromise the people of the country. What legislative policy and institutional safeguards are being introduced to prevent future cyber attacks or system collapses of this magnitude? Specifically, when all the government bring before Parliament a comprehensive Digital Transformation Act and Cyber Security Protection Law to ensure national preparedness and resilience. 10. Finally, what assurance can the Minister, Honourable Minister, give the people of Sri Lanka that such a collapse of nation's digital backbone will never reoccur and the government possesses the readiness, expertise and the resilience to withstand the future cyber threats of this magnitude? Honourable Speaker, may I just add one more matter? This was something we have been trying from 2015 when I was Finance Minister, but the resistance from the government servants itself retards the success story. The Eastern European countries have managed to come forward to its successful story owing to the fact that they digitized the economy. And I know that Minister, Deputy Minister or State Minister is a very competent person. Yeah. My question to you is to ensure while we jump in onto one side of becoming a digitized economy, that we must be fast-tracked with a proven ability that we won't suffer into the future. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Deputy Minister.